on, everybody? We back again. It's your man DJ Caveman, DJ IronMonkey. We talking that shit like we always do. We say it with our chest. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to another episode. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so that you always know when the new episodes are coming out. You can also go back and check out the older episodes and everything else that we got going on the YouTube channel. So, Thanks for rocking with us. Looks like Pete's here. Pete, you got to turn your camera on, Playboy. I can't bring you in if you're not going to turn your camera on. So comb your hair or whatever it is you need to do. And
fix your
eyebrows and shit, old school style. Or come on as is, But we might have some guests on today's show. We'll see if anybody gets around to me or whatever. But before we get into that, we must, as always, man, how was your week, player?
It was good, It was a telling week, seeing that we're going to talk about it a little bit later when it comes to the election. But aside from all of that, it was a pretty decent week. It seemed like it just, whisked by for me. Oh, excuse me. But, speaking of which, part of my week was I got introduced to this, oh, wait, hold on. Let me not put the label out there. The soda.
They're not paying us, man.
Nah, they're not sponsors. But it's a soda that's doing a collaboration with Oreo. And it's actually pretty good. So I got that as a part of my week, seeing that I simplified a lot of shit. But no, it's just a very simple week. Just go to work, come home, go through my music as I'm working on a new mix, and that's it basically. How about your week? How was your week?
Hey man, regulation week for me, man. I got a long weekend for Veterans Day.
You got tomorrow off.
Yeah, well, I always have Mondays off, but I had the Saturday off because the post office gives you the day before off instead of the day after. So because Monday is my usual day off, I get a long weekend on every Monday holiday, so kind of works out. Voted.
Yeah, I get double time tomorrow.
Just kind of talking to people, not having too many conversations, but chatting with folks about the whole, election situation, and just kind of hearing everybody's like views on things, and some people are doing too much, but I mean everybody's allowed to kind of like process it how it goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say grieve, but
I mean,
process is better.
Because I mean, there are lots of things that are going to stay the same. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of things that are going to change too, and I don't know what those things are going to be. But all right, Pete finally turned his camera on, so we're gonna bring in the big homie, the legendary Peter Anasanya. You know what I'm saying? He's a myth and a legend. And,
isn't that your birthday twin?
That's my birthday twin. You know what I'm saying? That's my twin brother Pete. The people can't see you yet, Pete. I don't know what you're doing, but no. Turn your camera back on, dude. I was saying that we didn't bring you into the joint yet. He was back there doing a dance for the people, so we just gonna bring Pete in so we can do the dance. Yeah, what up, Pete? He was doing the dance. Pete, you gotta put on some headphones, man.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
All right, let me switch it from the phone then, because I don't have headphones with a cell phone. So let me.
You don't got no Bluetooth?
No, that coincidentally that needed to be charged, so I gotta go onto the computer and do it. So sorry about that.
Dragon Ball Pete.
Yo, that was me. I was gonna wear the Pittsburgh because of the sports stuff, but I said let me just be goofy.
Listen. You still got the Knicks colors, so even though we lost against the Pacers today,
How are you guys doing?
I'm doing well. It was like Daryl froze, or he's just waiting for you to turn on there.
No, I'm just waiting, man. I'm not frozen. Did I look frozen? Damn.
Yeah, for a second.
Yeah, you did. For a hot second, yeah.
But yeah, Pete,
trying to get out.
Welcome to the show. Joining the conversation, man. interested in hearing your thoughts on things and on the things that the other shit we're going to talk about too. So feel free to stick around for the entire show. Your whole face is in the screen right now, Granddad. So if you want to slide back a little bit,
yeah, Draymond, Draymond, back up a little bit, Draymond.
I did
wow. Yeah,
we was looking up your nose for a minute.
Yeah,
my bad.
Come on,
nah,
Pop.
if anything, I gotta sit up now. I can't sit back in my chair. It look like I got the little head in Beetlejuice. Like the fuck.
Oh man, my bad, guys. Oh, you guys are killing me.
Hey, did you switch us to your computer already, or whatever you're doing? Or turn your volume down or something if you can't. Something's happening there.
I'll turn it down. How's that?
Yeah,
it's a little bit better.
Yeah, okay. Now I'm not like really crashing in to myself over here. But anyway, welcome, Peter. Tell the world what you do, who you are. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to know Pete real quick since he's joining us on the show today.
Software engineer who likes martial arts. I am a wannabe nerd, wannabe Bruce Lee. All.
Are you watching a tennis match, man?
No, I am not.
He's new to the podcast season.
Yeah, I just I'm just trying to be me as far as everything going on in the world and myself and just me, nothing special. I am honored to be with the DJs Caveman and IronMonkey, and I hope to add to the conversation because right now I feel like I don't have much to add, but we shall see. So,
all right,
hey man, you always got something to add. Ladies,
a new honorary guest.
Ladies, Peter's single.
So
jeez. All the single ladies that's
yes
interested in short, dark, chocolate, looking like Draymond Green. He got muscles and shit. You know what I mean? He's in shape.
He trained under Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was on the floor above him.
He can protect you. You know what I mean? And he's also a Nigerian prince.
This is true.
So
yeah, be careful of them emails. Yeah. It's a fundraiser for my school. Best believe.
Listen, I can honestly say when I received that first email, even I, as a Nigerian, was like, come on, that's really like, come on. I'm even seeing that. And it's like, no, this is not real. So I don't know how anybody else would have, legit looked at that. But I have to say, on that note, I'm a little bit proud only because it's like, okay, guys, you gave us a lot of money. Come on, man.
Yeah, cousin Koofy was on that shit again, huh?
Pretty much.
He's on that shit again.
You know what I also found out about that is actually not only was it a good portion of Nigerians, but what they did was they were like just outside the border of Nigeria. So they weren't even like in our home country. They were like in neighboring countries doing that.
Oh.
Yeah. So we've been blaming that.
Damn.
So it's like 50-50 depending on, the culprit. So.
Okay.
Them damn Kenyans again, huh? Running that game, huh? Running that game. Damn.
But
shit, I never knew that. I never knew he was on the outskirts. Hey, you learn something
let's get
every day.
into it. We've got the particulars out the way. You know what I'm saying? Welcome, Pete.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Thanks for stopping watching your tennis match. And let's get into it, man. The election was Tuesday. We're 5 days.
Yeah.
5 days from the election. Obviously, we know how it turned out, and that shit was a bloodbath.
Yeah.
He got all his states, plus all the swing states, plus like states that like the blue wall or whatever the fuck. He was just sitting there tap dancing on her soul after about 10 o'clock. But 100 days is a very short period of time to, gain the votes that you need to gain. She raised plenty of money, but aside from like the Democratic messaging being a little bit like vague and like over the heads of some people.
Mhm.
You know,
She's at a
but
dance party with Beyonce.
you know, we are now where we are, so we got to really just kind of pivot and prepare and handle everything that you need to handle to make sure that you don't have uh, that it doesn't affect you in negative ways, right? So, but Pete,
Yeah.
what's your initial thoughts on the election, and what are you feeling? What's going on with you?
I feel that a lot of things we can learn from this. That one, the big thing was just like I don't know if Kamala really had enough time to really distance herself from what was currently happening to be able to have a platform for herself that she could say, hey, this, I acknowledge what's happened before, but this is like my plan. I feel like that was a big thing that she wasn't able to really um, express very well in such a short amount of time. So I wonder if she had another like 2 or 3 months, if it would have been more effective and maybe had more of an impact. That's just my little thought.
Mm.
As far as the outcome, I mean, I've seen some vitriol online with some ex classmates that really kind of shook me to the core. Um, and just around the
Mm.
sphere, like just hey, so it was like 2016, but on steroids as far as being divisive, and I get it on both sides. I get it from both sides. Uh, I definitely felt this is what 2016 over again, but just in a very big way because Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, and I believe Georgia with a blue wall, and he cracked them,
Mm.
which I didn't even think he could do. And I think once he broke that, the message was, hey, the unheard, the that half that was just like really doesn't feel listened to really like spoke up. In addition to converts, I think the Latino vote really helped. Um, I don't know how much the black vote really helped with that, but I think the big one was the Latino vote,
Mm.
as far as swinging in Trump's favor and such. Uh, Elon Musk, I mean, he was a factor as well.
Mm.
So, I mean, in short, I mean, I'm not surprised that he won. It's weird state all around right now, and I don't know. Did they call? They didn't call the House of Representatives yet, right? So we don't know if this is like as far as Republican control.
Not yet. Not the last
No,
time I
not yet.
checked.
Okay, so I think right now the House is like 3 or 4 seats away from Republican control, and there's still a number of seats left. So
Yeah, and the Senate flipped.
the Senate flipped. The Senate definitely flipped. So he's entering potentially an administration with the most power you've ever seen historically, and it's kind of frightening because there's no stopping anything that he wants to do, and so it's very weird. It's a very weird space that we're in. I am concerned on different fronts, and in the end, I'm just trying to be a good person, and we'll have to see what happens. But that's just me. As you can see, I just I'm still shocked at what's happened and such.
You're
So
still shell shocked.
yeah, no, I'm still a little shell shocked
Well,
because I didn't. Go ahead.
see, there's a couple of things, right? This is the first one this is the first election where he actually won the popular vote. But when
Right.
you actually look at the numbers, he actually had about the numbers might change, but at last review, I think I reviewed it on like Thursday or so. I think he still had 3 million less votes than when he won, and even last time against Biden. So it's
Right.
like he. But the worst part is that on the Democratic side of things, like I think Joe Biden had like 85 or 84, something like that. She only had 66.
Right.
So that means that they didn't turn out, or for whatever reason, for like just they didn't show up for her. or the votes weren't counted. I'm not going to say that she got cheated. I'm not going to be that person. As an independent, I'll say a couple of things. Number one, the Republicans, they're great at creating boogie monsters. You know, they like to create something, and the only people that can fix it are them, not recognizing that a lot of the boogie monsters that they talk about, they created. So they're like, well, we created it, we should know how to handle it. You know, it's like, it's our child. We should know how to discipline our child. For the Democrats, it seemed very weird because it felt like the party as a whole were not supporting her because of the way that she got elevated. They wanted an election because people like Gavin Newsom would have probably won. Cory Booker, a couple of other people might have wanted to run to get a chance to become president, but they felt like it was just handed to her. Where every day, at least on every channel, it'll be 3 or 4 different surrogates explaining what Trump had said. Oh no, this is what he meant. This is what he meant. At least every day. But you didn't see any Cory Booker as much. You didn't see AOC as much. You didn't really see Nancy Pelosi as much. You didn't really see Chuck Schumer as much. You didn't really see his surrogates or her surrogates come out for her and try to like explain some of her policies, because it felt like she had to do all of the explaining on how her policies were going to work, while Trump could just say, I'm gonna cut taxes on overtime. Well, how's that gonna affect the deficit? How is that gonna work? Never had to explain it. Only thing he would say was, well, you know, when he was in office, he could do this and he could do that and he did this and he did. It would never explain his policies. Like even with the mass deportation, how is that going to work? Like who's funding that? Like that's the things that he never really answered or really needed to answer, but she needed to answer for everything that she would say. It was just weird, but the surrogates, it just felt weird on the Democratic side of things. It felt like their effort was flat, and they do their best in the position of struggling. You know, it's like, oh, we got to fight the power. You know, and this is the second time Trump will probably have the House and the Senate, because the first time he ran, he had the House and the Senate. You know, so why wasn't the wall built? He doesn't have to answer that. So either way, just with Democrats, they just seem like they like to play victim more than anything. And they seem like they're in better position when they're the victims or they're fighting uphill. And Republicans, they're just, again, great at creating boogie monsters. You know? So it was just weird, but it's about 2 months left before everything transfers over. So people thinking that moving to Canada is the move. It's hard to move to Canada. You have to fill out paperwork. It's not like moving from Providence to Cranston. It's not like that. You know, it's not that easy. So everybody that's freaking out on day one, like, slow down. If anything, get your shit together. You got about 2 months left, as Busta Rhymes in the Busta Rhymes voice. You know, you only got 2 months left. You know, so and then we see what happens. But like you said, Pete, just continue to be a good person, continue to be a beacon in the moments of darkness, and just be a decent person. That's it.
No, yeah, you brought up a very interesting point. Like I didn't even think about how the surrogates really weren't there for Harris. They kind of played the background, and yeah, now I think about that, that's very lost. And yeah, the Republicans do have a way of doing the whole boogie monster thing. I feel like they both do that. I just think the Republicans do it like more, and they're more like outspoken about it.
Yeah.
They just say it a little louder. You know
Yeah, they say it with their chest. They're like, if you're gonna look at me as a racist, so what? At least I stand on something. Right. You know, Democrats are like, it's all about inclusion, which is fine, but we don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers per se. You know, so it's weird with them. It's like they're tiptoeing through the tulips while Republicans are just mowing down the cornfields. You know,
And that seems to be what the majority of the country wants right now, for at least for this election. Because here's a couple things. I'm a rabbit hole guy, and
Yep.
and I like to kind of like do my own digging from time to time and like check out things. And there are like a couple of observations. First, I'll start with a funny story. Not really funny, but I have a guy on my route, Black Republican, super Trump guy, and he's been telling me for months that Trump was going to win the election because it's what's supposed to happen in the scripture type shit. And I was like, oh, all right. So now, and he's like, he's gonna win, and I'm like, we'll see. And he's like, no, he's gonna win, and I'm like, we'll see. And then he wins. So I pull up, and I just know he's gonna be outside waiting because he's out there doing a little dance and shit. Oh, I told you, I was right. And then he goes,
no, they're sore winners. They're sore winners and sore losers.
It's not even about that part, because I knew he was going to be excited. Like, he's a kind of a happier dude. Anyway, it's not like he was like trying to be like a dickhead. He was like genuinely excited because his guy won, which is whatever. But so he says that Trump was supposed to win because it was what the Bible says, right? So now that's kind of weird, but it gave me some insight, right? So, and then he says, there's no way that a woman would ever be able to run the country anyway, because that's not their job. Paraphrasing. And I was like, wow. And then I just went on about my day. But what it brought to my attention is that like a vast majority of the world is like, or of our country, like there's a huge area and populace of people that are very, very religious, right? And so there's those folks who think that it's like a God thing. And then there's like the misogynists of the world, who feel like women can't do anything except stay home and have babies, right? So like that's also a good portion of the country, and then checking out election results, I'm looking at states like Nevada and Texas, Kansas, Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, all states that were red in regards to the presidential election, but elected senators and or representatives on both sides of the ticket. So there are people who voted split tickets, but they voted for Trump for president and then voted for a Democrat for the House or the Senate, which only solidifies what this guy says to me, is that the country is just not going to put a woman in the position of power for the free world. Like the world is like, the country's just not prepared, and that's not a thing that a majority of them want.
See now, to touch on to some of your points, right? With some of those states and some of the way a lot of people voted is that they believe that he's going to roll back a lot of regulations, things that are stopping the free market. That was part of the economics of it all with him, is that he's going to actually let people dump, and because he doesn't care about climate change. It's a hoax to him. It's just make believe. That's just something to cut down on free market. That's his mindset. That's where the drill and all that kind of stuff, where he wants to open up federal land to now stop building houses. This is what he was saying during the debate, which I thought was weird. So basically, you're gonna cut down on like Yellowstone, so that way now you could build houses for people in construction. Again, that's cutting down on regulations and opening up business. That's where they saw money with him.
Right. But let me land though. So it's just interesting though, you know what I mean? Because it's like, you'll vote for Democrats on the ticket, but not at the top of the ticket. Like there's still a lot of misogyny and in disbelief or whatever you want to attach to it, you know. And I've talked to several people since then, and I've heard similar sentiment. Like it was more than just the policies, because it really wasn't the policies for some people. You know what I mean? And I just thought it was an interesting find to be like, oh, they voted for like the senator on the Democratic side of the ticket, which is fine. I think it's better to vote a split ticket, because you have to look out for your self-interest in that, you know, it might be on the on either side of the aisle. But it's just, you would think that those same people would also vote the same on the top of the ticket. And I think that more Republicans this time around, there's also a percentage of them that just voted straight ticket, because that's what they do. You know, so, you know, the key for me is just that there are a good amount of people who don't understand how the government works, and they don't understand how economics works. They just know that if the Dow goes up a bunch, they're going to make a little bit of money. But and I posted a thing today on my Instagram stories about, from an economist, and I was hoping that John would come on, because I wanted to kind of open up that area. Everybody's talking about the tariffs and the inflation is high. Yes, inflation is high. Yes, that's a shitty situation, because it's going to eventually raise the prices of everything. But taking it from where it is and dropping it to zero is also not great for the economy. And so what it does is it will make things slightly cheaper in theory, but from a business perspective, you've already been paying $6 for eggs. You've already been paying, you know, things that have a fixed cost, you've already been paying. So yeah, gas might go down, but gas fluctuates with the market based on the price of a barrel of oil. So that's gonna go, the taxes might go down, but that doesn't mean that guy's gonna charge under $2 for gas when you've been paying between $2.50 and $3.20 for the last couple of years. You know what I mean? Like we're at the new floor of what things are gonna cost. Like when stuff went up at 9/11, not 9/11, stuff went up at 9/11 too, but when stuff went up during the pandemic, like all of the stuff went up. None of the stuff went down. And per Wall Street, we're like, this is the best economy that we've had in like American history, according to Wall Street. Their words, not mine. But at the same time, you have to understand, and he talks about, you know, the $15 cup of coffee, because what happens is, you know, now they're going to see at this point, if your cup of coffee is $10, and then now they're paying the tariff, right? They don't really care about that, because now they're going to just charge you $12 for your coffee. But then you start paying $12 for your coffee, and their sales don't dip, their demand doesn't dip for their coffee. Now they're going to start to push the issue. Now we're going to charge $12.10. Now we're going to charge incremental raises in your coffee cup until the demand dips, and then that's where the new cost of coffee will be.
See, look, this is the thing that people didn't recognize. Trump was out there saying, look at the economy now. But the economy now was because of the way that he mismanaged COVID. Because with the mismanagement of COVID, that is where what I call for myself is the Great Reset, is where everything reset to a brand new standard. When they gave out stimulus checks, I saw it not just as helping people out, but it's to help people adjust to the new inflation. So that money that was given to people was to adjust to the new cost of business. That's the way I saw it. I only got one because of child support, and I'm not going to get into that. But I only got one check when people got 3 checks, and they thought that he was the one giving out the checks when he didn't even want to give out checks. It was Congress and the Senate and them that voted for the checks to go out. He said, stop, let me put my name on it. And people thought he was the one that gave out checks. That's where he stole a lot of votes in people's eyes. The other thing, too, is that I didn't like is that how it became a battle where some Black women were getting at Black men for not voting for him. Now, based on the numbers, it says that wasn't the case. We showed out. the thing is like Pete said, it was where the Hispanics and the Latinos voted for him at a higher clip than expected, which was weird, especially when he was talking about mass deportations. Like, how are they voting for that? Like, it's like the act, like the forest voting for the axe, and the axe is like, well, my handle's made out of wood. I'm part of you guys too, and they're like, well, he got a sharp tongue and a strong head. But it's still an axe, you know? Like that's how it felt in that sense. It was just weird. Some of the breakdowns, and then they was talking, and they wanted to say it very delicately because it comes off a certain way. The people that did not have college or any kind of college education voted heavily for him. What that comes off as is dumb people voted for him.
Exactly.
That's where you got to kind of be delicate on saying people without college education, some form, like even a freshman or junior college or online, or they had none. So
I mean, overall, I think that, and I think we should, we'll button it up and pivot out. But be prepared.
He said Elon Musk, but that Joe Rogan one helped him a lot with younger folks.
True.
And her not going on that Joe Rogan kind of hurt her with that young guy vote.
I mean, I don't know if that. I don't really know if that really helped or hurt. I mean, without enough time, you really never know. I mean, but at the end of the day, like my main point was that nothing's gonna change price wise. Everybody's expecting that shit is just gonna be affordable again. If you can't afford it now, you definitely ain't gonna be able to afford it over the next couple of years. So just prepare yourself, and do more research about shit and learn how the government works, because a lot of you voted in ways that lets people know that you don't know how the government works, or you don't care. Like nobody wants to know what's inside the hot dog. You know what I mean? And just to say it in a way that's just easy to say, a lot of people voted, like some of the people I spoke to just don't care about the process. They just want gas to be less, or they want their stuff to be more affordable, or they want to pay less taxes. But the tax breaks ain't coming to us anyway, man. Like the tax breaks are going to the businesses in the 1%. I'm not in the 1%, so I'm not going to get the tax break. I mean, it's supposed to come all the way down. I think like the minimum, like salary that people are going to be getting any affection of a tax break is going to be like in the 400, 500,000 range. So I'm not even close to that, and neither are any of the people that I know. Maybe like a handful, because I do know a couple of like very wealthy people. But I mean, at the end of the day, like a majority of the people that voted for Trump, I'll say 98% of them are never going to benefit from most of the things that he wants to do from a financial standpoint. So,
well, they might believe in trickle down economics, and that has been shown not to work. I'm not gonna try to decide what I think they know. I just think that what they believe is not a reality because they don't pay attention. You're not watching the games, as Kevin Garnett says all the time. You're not watching the games. Final thoughts, Pete. What are your final thoughts on
final thoughts? No, I was gonna add to something that you had mentioned as far as not knowing the process. I did do like not as much research as you, but just kind of piecing together like reading, and I read a couple of stories in which a lot of young men who voted for Trump, their bottom line was he appealed to me. It wasn't even anything like that. It was just that appealing, and it was, as we all say, 10 toes in. And I think that's a lot of what Trumpers support is the fact that he stands on whatever it is, whether it be ignorance or arrogance, whatever you want to call it. He at least owns it. So, as most people will overlook all the other stuff because this person is being honest and true to himself, and he shows or presents he has nothing to hide, and he doesn't necessarily care. And so
A man of
damn,
his convictions.
yeah, damn the process. Here's an honest guy trying to like, make America great or whatever. I'm gonna go with him, and it could be completely against their morals, their principles, and like you said, nothing's gonna affect but they don't care. They like him, and so I think a lot of that appeal, combined with what you had said, Dawood, with the media sort of labeling them as dumb people. Now you're kind of put in that category of like, wait, I'm dumb. What are you talking about? And people are sensitive to that. So you have those two groups. They're gonna go straight to that dude.
Mm.
And I think that as far as the Hispanic vote, a lot of them, from what I had read, even though there's that dichotomy of, hey, I actually have people who might get deported, but I'm gonna still vote for this guy. It was more of, I don't like this other person because I don't trust them, or their message got lost. But this guy, you know what? He seems to be, something I can vote for. Maybe this won't affect me. You know what? I'm gonna take my chances on him. And I've seen a lot of that stuff. So it's very weird. It's very weird, and I'm gonna be interested to see what historians, look at as far as Trump as an entity, as far as presidency and how his campaign. Because the truth is, I think once these 4 years go by, I think the Republican Party is going to use him as a blueprint on how to, get those votes. Like, all right, young people, let's, how do we do this? How do we do this? Like he's got a pretty good foothold with the Republican Party to the point where I feel like their cornerstone, what's the word I'm looking for? What the Republican Party should stand for. I think Trump has like changed it, for better or for worse. And that's probably the scary part is like, he's shown what he can do, like how much of that influence is now going to trickle down and such. So, sorry, that was a little bit of rambling, but that was like, kind of,
there's no such thing as rambling on this show, man. We just chit chat and yeah. Dawood, final thoughts.
Yeah, Pete is right when it comes to, he just had a feel to him. Like they demonized her laugh. They try to question, is she really black? So how can you feel her if you don't even understand who she is on that base level? So when it comes to that, that's really what it came down to with a lot of them. Then it's like a lot of the supporters, they don't really get that deep into politics. Like they might not, some of them might, don't get me wrong, because it's an economic level with them and they see like how things are supposed to move and things like that. So, but on the majority of them, it's why some people don't like watching Jeopardy, because they don't want to feel stupid, like, so why am I going to put myself in an arena for you to tell me that I'm dumb? I'm going to go in the arena where, yeah, I kind of feel smart. I feel like he's talking to me on my level of things, the way that I talk with me and my people, in our locker room. Granted, some of his speech and subject matter resonates with many people enough to win a popular vote.
75 million is some change.
Right. So, even though it's less than, what he did against Biden, it's still a strong number. So with him, again, I've said that I go back with the days of Lifetime of the Rich and Famous with Robin Leach, and how I didn't really get a good vibes with him. And then living in New York and my grandmother in New York, and I know some people that had kind of business dealings or his name came up in conversation because I call him uncle, even though he was like my step grandfather. He was my grandmother's husband. He did real estate in New York. So sometimes he would have dinner parties and, conversations would happen. As a young kid, I wasn't putting two and two together, but I would hear the name. And a lot of times I would hear about like how we cheat people and what happened. You see what happened with the casinos in New Jersey? He's at it again, so that kind of shit. It's kind of like how we heard whisperings of R. Kelly back in the day and how we kind of heard whisperings of P. Diddy. And then when shit hits the fan, you see exactly what it is. The thing is guy's been convicted. We see what it is, and he still got ahead of the ticket, which is weird. He's a felon. Like real talk. So for a lot of people, they felt like he's going to make it a little bit easier for them because he understands how sometimes you get wrongly convicted of things, or it's a witch hunt against you. They're just out to get me. It's the man is coming after me, kind of thing. So some people related to that too, and he played into it. It's like, yo, this dude is a felon. Convicted 35 times, and he still got open cases.
He doesn't have any more open cases.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah,
not anymore.
All those cases don't exist anymore.
Yep, pretty much.
What cases? What cases?
These are not the cases you are looking for.
Oh yeah, the Jedi mind trick is real. Oh, David Copperfield in the house. Chris Angel.
Over.
Poof.
Over.
But yeah, it's just amazing. But life goes on, and we just have to be good to each other in the face of it all, and just bite down and buckle up. For 4 years, and see how this goes. Fight the power.
And finally, for me, man, listen, the Democratic message was very weak this time around. Democratic Party need to work on their messaging. Folks need to be more active in their communities locally with the shit that's going on in your states and cities, because we're about to give a lot of money in bonds to things that probably don't need it on the level that we were made to believe. And that's only because we don't go to these meetings when they're published in the papers, or you can go online and see when all these things are up. You should start going to them, because when the taxes go up, we can't complain about the things that we voted for, and now shit is more expensive. Gas will not go down. They're going to deport your family. Don't be surprised. But anyway, on to lighter.
Waving a 4-4.
On to lighter fare.
Yes.
Raygun is retiring from break dancing. You don't know who Raygun is.
Whoa!
Hard pivot, dog. Hard pivot.
Yeah.
We're going from
he really transformed out of that one. Woo.
I hit you with the Barry Sanders that in the run where he turned the dude from the Patriots all the way around in a circle. Yeah, that was
even in the lead up notes. I didn't get nothing about this. This is totally left field.
I really didn't.
I'll let you continue.
I didn't have lead up notes today because I wasn't sure how long we were going to talk. But since we got a little bit of time before we get into our top 5, I just wanted to talk about a little bit of internet fuckery that I found during my travels across the interwebs.
I'm kind of glad you said that, but go ahead.
But yeah, Raygun has announced that she's retiring from international competition.
Oh, really?
And
say they so. Oh.
I just want to say that Raygun, nobody is sad.
I would like to. No. Listen, I would like to say thank you for the memories. It was well appreciated. There was good comedy that we all had.
Sorry.
No, like Daryl's like, I bitch. Like
I'm with Daryl on that, man. Like
Yeah,
You're-
I am too on a certain level, but I gotta give perspective and level things out in a sense, where thank you for the thank you for the memories, But like she was a failed backup dancer for Thriller back in the day. Like, nah, you get out of here. What are you doing? Who let her in here? Like, oh my goodness.
I have a question for Pete.
Yo.
Yes.
All right, Peter. You're a software engineer, right?
Okay, I try.
So, I don't know. It was a weird setup.
No. Because I was just thinking about this, and I was like, damn, I gotta ask Pete this question. Where are you keeping your Iron Man suit? I know you have an Iron Man suit.
Wait, hold on. You're asking the man to give up where the Batcave is? What kind of villain? Like, listen. You're not a superhero if you fall for them kind of tricks. Come on, Pete. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I've been trying to figure out what Pete does for a living for as long as I've known him. And, he's like Broadman. He's like Broadman from the 5th floor. You don't really know, or like Tommy. You never know what he does, but he
does it at a high clip.
He does it at a very high level.
Nah.
Pete knows
you know what? You know what? Somebody should have just asked Superman. Superman, who are you? You know, like, it's as plain as that. It's as plain as that. Hey, Pete,
yo,
where do you keep the Superman? Like, where do you keep the Iron Man suit? Come on, just tell us. Come on. It's just us.
It's just us.
I've been trying to trick Pete into telling me he's a CIA agent.
Oh, no, man. No, though I wish. Oh, my God.
That's day one shit that they tell you. You can't tell people what you do. Like, that's day one shit.
He's got this software job,
It's nothing.
One day I get approached by a lady in a suit with a badge, and she's like, "Tell me about Pete," and I'm like, "I don't know any Pete, lady." And then she like dragged me into the library where it was quiet and interrogated me softly about Pete. She asked me a lot of questions in a very low voice, and I was like,
"Yeah."
I was like, my guy's in the CIA. Why are they asking me these questions?
So
maybe he's in the NSA. Pete, you're in the NSA, right?
I wish.
I thought Pete was just mopping floors at McDowell's. I didn't know he was no Nigerian prince. The fuck? I just saw him mopping the floors. He's a prince? His face is on money? His face is on money?
Please, tell us more about your job.
Oh, gosh. No, it's just been, so you have to have like clearance for the type of projects you're working on.
You got a job that needs clearance. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't need clearance, and I work for the government.
Yeah. So it's like it's not as crazy as people think. Like I'm not on that Area 51 type level with the top secret clearance. It's just they want to keep that information proprietary, even though when I look at it at a whole, it's not really that big of a deal, but whichever. So most of the projects that I've worked on have supported the Army or the Navy in web applications that they use for, in one case, it was for a network to monitor different things. And then another one, it was for just like, it seemed like inventory of various systems and software on these systems. And so it's just me making sure the thing like looks pretty and is functional, and you're able to persist that data really.
Pete, I have to give a compliment to you.
What's that?
Like your media training is perfect. You said a lot of things without actually saying anything. Like, what do you do? Well, as a bar back, I just stock the bar. Pete, what do you do? Well, it's kind of complex when you really look at it. It consists on multiple levels. See, level one other people might not know the kind of schooling that you have to go to for level 1, but once you finish level 1, then you elevate to level 2. Level 2. It's like, wait, what? What? Pete, Pete, I saw you mopping the floors at the McDonald's last week. Just say that shit. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yo,
Nah.
he really just did that too. He was just like he just said a bunch of words just together.
Oh yeah.
He was like he hit us with the ill slam. He hit us with the ill slam poetry. Butterflies, elephants, butter knives, salad bowls.
Yes.
You guys are killing me.
Salad dressing.
Yeah.
Everything's spice. Yellow rice.
And it's copacetic.
Yeah, baby.
You guys are killing me. Oh my gosh, you guys are killing me. You guys are killing me. Oh,
butterflies come from caterpillars.
Oh my god.
Oh, we love you, Pete. We love you, Pete. Oh my god.
You guys are killing me, but I love you guys. And no,
he's single, ladies.
I understand. I understand. You want to keep your job. I understand. You want to keep your job, Pete.
No, I was about to ask him. Wait, what's the secret? What's the secret he could tell us without getting black bagged? But then I now I know he's just gonna say a bunch of words that ain't gonna make no sense. You know.
Oh, I know who's been stealing people's lunches out of the fridge. Tell you who it is, because that motherfucker got me last week. Fuck you, Carl. You need to go back to remote working.
Actually, it's funny. There was a situation like that. It wasn't necessarily like someone stealing. Well, actually, there was one where there was someone that was stealing food. They never caught the person, but there was a situation where they actually had to tell people, hey, if you're going to bring fish into work, you probably shouldn't do that. And without saying it, everyone knew who the person was.
Please don't tell me you have somebody named Carl that works in your office.
Did you start bringing fish to work? Because we know it's you.
What's up?
Is it you? You're the culprit?
No, it wasn't. I know who it was. I knew it was.
Like,
see, I told you.
Be healthy.
Yeah, no. So we did have a Carl that we worked with. We did have a Carl.
That's hilarious.
He got transferred out because he was stealing lunches.
We did have a Carl, but I don't believe he was the culprit with the lunch thing. But we did have a Carl. But yeah, but the fish thing, we all knew who it was, and I don't think she cared. So yeah.
So ladies, just know, single ladies, just know that if you date Pete, he's gonna have to like go out of town every once in a while to handle stuff for his software job. That's the only thing you need to know. Don't ask any more questions because you're just gonna say stuff to you like, today was sunny and I need to do laundry later because I like these. And you're gonna be like, what?
Listen.
And he's gonna be like, no, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You never listen.
I do have one question though. I gotta ask this question to you, Daryl, because even though I've had like my fandom, can I get something Detroit because they're killing it this year, man? Like,
right now they're getting their fucking ass beat, Pete.
Oh, seriously?
It's 23-7 right now. The Texans are fucking stepping in our assholes right now. Like,
who is it?
We're at a Diddy party.
The Texans?
They got the chrome helmets on, and they got us out back in the woodshed right now. But it's only halftime, so we'll see what happens in the second half. But yeah, Pete, you can have anything you want from Detroit when you come to Detroit with me, and you can buy that ticket out yourself.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Pete, your phone is loud again. I don't know what's happening.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't change the volume.
Somebody unplugged their headphones or something. Anyway, there we go. We're better now. I don't know what you did, but it's working.
And Dawood, thank you for the music, man. Much appreciated. It was like thank you very much. I've listened to it like probably 4 times. Like the latest one, like on a daily basis. Cause I just like I really am trying to be a little bit more positive and such. So it's been really cool. I'm still waiting for Sound Blaster, I think, or is it Soundwave?
Soundwave.
Soundwave. That's it. That's it. Because my sons are now turned on to Transformers, and so they're adopting like the Decepticons because of their dad, and now they want like they want Shockwave, Soundwave, Megatron. One of them wants Metroplex.
Yeah, I had all of those.
See?
Shout out to my mom for buying me all the Transformers.
My mother didn't want to buy me any Transformers because she said that the demon was in the machines and that's why they was transforming. She used to watch a lot of 700 Club. So
the 700 Club was like evangelism at its finest.
That's
again,
you know
again. I got grounded one time because she had the. I probably told this story on another podcast that we had, but she had the stranger. Remember what growing up about kids getting kidnapped? So my mother had the stranger danger conversation with me, and I was mad one time. She's like, so what if a stranger pulls up on you? Are you gonna get in the van with him? I'm like, yeah, if he had to transform with him. She was like, oh yeah. Best believe. I had to go sit. Yeah, no, I got disciplined, and then I had to go kneel in the corner while 700 Club was playing in the background.
I feel like that dude lived to be like 150 years old too, because either that or they're showing reruns of the 700 Club, because there's no way.
I swear he's still alive. I swear they have his head like frozen in like the back somewhere.
It's crazy.
He's in that same thing that they put Han Solo in.
Right.
Is that show still on?
The D Wade statue. Yeah, 700 Club still goes on.
Oh wow.
But yo, it's time.
Gotta keep that cash cow growing.
It's time for the motherfucking top 5. Top 5. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Top 5. This guy came with the boat.
You should have some top 5.
This week came with the boat.
This week's top 5. We are rating our top 5 Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh my gosh!
So you take a second and think about it.
All right, Pete. Take a second. All right. So you came up with the topic, Daryl. You want to go first?
No. I came up with the topic. That means you go first.
Oh damn! All right. So Saturday morning cartoons. Now I had to look up some of these because I thought some of them only came on after school. Like regular, like Monday to Friday cartoons are different from Saturday morning cartoons. Like cartoons like Ronin Warriors, I used to catch on like the daytime, right? Or like the Galaxy Trio and the Hanna-Barbera suite of cartoons. Those were more like in the morning time before school. So those don't fit with Saturday cartoons. I'm trying to give Pete a little bit of extra time to gather his shit together. So my honorable mentions, name 3 of them. I'll go with Mon-Chi-Chi's on the USA Network.
Damn, Mon-Chi-Chi's.
Yeah, that's a deep cut. I love monkeys, Mon-Chi-Chi's. I actually had the doll when I was before we moved up to Rhode Island. The one where you just put the
snap hands and shit.
Yeah, and then the thumb in the mouth. I had that one. Right, so Mon-Chi-Chi's is an honorable mention. Teen Titans, not Teen Titans Go, the original Teen Titans, which was a little bit, well, it was much darker, because they had Slade and against Robin, but that one was a solid cartoon. So that's an honorable mention, and I'll go with Johnny Quest as another honorable mention. Trying to give Pete a little bit of extra time. All right, so those are my honorable mentions for Saturday morning cartoons. So my number 5 is DuckTales. DuckTales, you know the song. And then see, this is the thing. I used to have nightmares about, remember when the money bags and it used to like avalanche and you used to like run away from it? Dude, I used to have dreams where I used to touch it. Oh my goodness. Yo, I used to have dreams of that. So that's why I had to put it at number 5, respectfully. Number 4, deep cut, Planet of the Apes. They had a cartoon for that, and that was a deep cut one. That was like a CBS cartoon where CBS used to show some like real weird ones because I think they had like Star Trek 2, the cartoon. So either way, moving on to my number 3. I had to look this one up because I used to see it every day after school, but it was actually a Saturday morning cartoon. He-Man. He-Man was a Saturday morning cartoon, which, come to find out, watching that Netflix special, it was just invented to sell toys. That's all the cartoon was really created for, is to be like a animated commercial to sell toys. All right, so He-Man at number 3. Number 2. This one a lot of people like. I had to also look it up again, make sure it was a Saturday morning cartoon. Thundercats. Thundercats, especially, the Eye of Thundera, Mumra, he was spooky as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Panthro, all of them, like, and then the different characters that they used to add, and then the new characters with the new Thundera and all of that shit. So Thundercats number 2. For me, number 1, hands down, X-Men. Now that they have the X-Men 97 on Disney Plus, it's even better. X-Men, hands down. Saturday at 11 o'clock on Fox, you know what it is. So, and this is before like DVR and, streaming. You might have had a VCR and try to set it up, but, being in the household with one VCR, can't be trying to occupy no TV. You don't pay no bills here. So yeah, you just had to be live on action with that one. So, and then after that, wrestling will come on and shit like that. So either way, number 1, X-Men.
Word. That's a dope list. All right. So just my honorable mentions are not, they're more like just cartoons that I love that just came on during the week, like Transformers and G.I. Joe, shit like that. But let me jump right into my top 5 Saturday morning cartoons that I used to be like, all right, these are the ones I'm about to watch. And just to reference the Cartoon Express, the USA Cartoon Express back in the day.
Yes.
Man,
that
shit was crazy. But number 5 on the list is the Snorks. Snorks used to be my shit. I don't know. I have this like affinity. Like I really like want seahorses. And like the Snorks has always reminded me of seahorses. They're kind of like if I could keep them alive, I probably would have them, but you have to feed them live food and they have a saltwater system and all that other. It costs a lot of money to fucking have seahorses. Anyway, the Hanna-Barbera Yogi Space Race. Come on Saturday mornings with all the Hanna-Barbera cartoons and the Yogis. And the Space Race with like Pink Panther and all them dudes.
Dick Dastardly.
McGilla Gorilla and Muttley. I used to always watch that shit. That was always like the first cartoon on the Cartoon Express at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Dumb early for that shit.
Dick Dastardly.
Number 3 for me is gonna be the Smurfs. Like I don't know why I like the Smurfs like that, but like I used to like be like arguing with my sister about to be watching the Smurfs and she trying to watch like Gem and the Holograms or some shit. And I'm like, yo,
Punky Brewster.
Yeah, she's trying to watch some other shit and I'm trying to watch the Snorks and the Smurfs and shit. So the Smurfs is number 3. Number 2 is Rocky and Bullwinkle.
I forgot. That's right.
Like I would get up because it also came on like super early, and like I would get up super early to watch Rocky and Bullwinkle. Like even though it was like it was just old. Like my mom used to watch Rocky and Bullwinkle, and that shit was just always like weirdly funny for me. So Rocky and Bullwinkle's number 2, and my number 1 favorite Saturday morning cartoon is the motherfucking Gummy Bears, yo.
I knew it.
Motherfucking Gummy Bears is my shit back in the day.
I knew you was gonna say that.
Mostly because as an adult, I realized that they was just doing drugs the whole time.
Yep. Yeah.
Um,
Pretty much.
you know, and when they did their drugs, they got so smart, and they had their little intricate like tunnels and shit. And yeah, shout out to motherfucker whoever invented the gummy bears. Yeah, as an
The guy
adult,
on the drums.
I get it now.
Gummy
So,
berry juice.
yeah, the gummy berry juice, like it's like steroids and speed and crack at the same time, just crack juice.
When you really look at it, a lot of
It was like
drugs on your
cocaine.
list because the Smurfs were on mushrooms and the
Oh, yeah.
Snorks were the C version of the Smurfs.
True. And yeah, anyway, yeah, that's my list. Pete, give us your top 5 Saturday morning cartoons, man.
All right, so I'm gonna give an honorable mention, and I can't believe I'm going to admit this in the social media sphere, but because it got to a point where I wanted to watch cartoons badly, I actually did watch Gem. So, yeah,
I watched
It was a solid show.
I watched it.
No shame, Pete. No shame, Pete. No shame, man.
TV. We had a lot of compromises, and when it came to the TV back in the day, we only had one. So
this is true.
me and my sister had to basically like, all right, I'll let you watch this so I can watch this type shit. But sometimes she would just try to take it over and argue, and then my mom would yell, and then it's just like, fuck. I gotta watch this bullshit.
Nah, the Misfits used to be up to some shit though.
For real, they were. They definitely were. I hated them too.
But your honorable mention was Jim. What else is on your list?
So I mean, it's you guys are very astute when it comes to rankings. For me, I just love cartoons altogether. So I'll do the best I can with this. So number 5, I had Smurfs. It was just the Smurfs, and every time I watched them, I just felt good about it. But I always had that question as to like, what's up with Smurfette? Why is she the only one? And what's really going on? So it's gonna leave that there.
Nah, you missed the episode when Gargamel actually created her. So technically, there's no real female Smurfs at all.
I forgot about that. That's right.
Until the other one came in, and they brought her in with the grandfather.
That's right.
Out the woods, wherever the fuck they came from.
Right. That's right. Cool. Number 4, the Ghostbusters.
Ooh, Ghostbusters.
Because I liked the movie. No, the movie didn't come out before. I don't remember when the movie. But I just liked watching the Ghostbusters because of the movie, I believe. And so once again, it was on the cartoon because I was sheltered.
Wait. The real Ghostbusters, because they had another cartoon. Let's go Ghostbusters. Let's go. There was 2 Ghostbusters, and then they had the real Ghostbusters. So that was more based on the cartoon, based on the movie.
Yeah, so that one with like the real one. So that's the one I saw because I never saw the other one.
The real Ghostbusters.
The real Ghostbusters, yes. Thank you for that clarification, sir. Number 3 would be Looney Tunes, just because you had a whole cast of characters there. Just every character, it was unique, and I loved watching Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner for some reason. It was just like a silent movie on steroids, just watching those two go at it. And when they finally started to talk, I was like, wait, Wile E. can talk? What's going on here? So, and Bugs, I mean, come on, man. How can you not be Bugs?
Bugs Bunny is a diabolical supervillain.
Right?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, be wreaking all kinds of havoc all over the place. And they've been trying to kill him for years, and he just won't die.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And he's a straight dickhead. Like, he'll be like fucking you up and then just like stand next to you and lean on you and eat a carrot and be like, what's up?
What's up, Doc?
What's up, Doc?
What's up, Doc?
He's really like, yeah, what's up, bitch? What you trying to do? What you ain't trying to do? Nothing. Catch me.
Try to shoot him, and then the gun blast back in your face.
Yeah.
So I love that one. Number 2, Thundercats. I mean, that one's just self-explanatory right there, because that was Thundercats. And then my big one, and to this day, even my sons know, Voltron.
I knew you were going to Voltron on the top of
Voltron was just wicked, and I just learned because we were at Comic-Con and my son was asking me about, he said he had a Voltron that it wasn't the cars, it was planes. And I was like, I don't know about that. And so I had to go back and look, and apparently there were two types of Voltrons in in like the same universe, but in different parts of the galaxy. So the original Voltron with the lions was one part of the galaxy, but they had a series of different Voltrons based on the elements. So they had like an Air Force one where they were all planes. They had a land one, which was all cars, and they had a sea one, which was like whatever the heck they had for sea stuff. So there were like actually 4 different Voltrons, all within the same universe, but in different parts of the galaxy.
Was one of them Japanese?
Oh crap! I don't remember.
Because I vaguely remember that one.
That one, you might be right. I just don't remember which one, whether it was the cars or if it was like the lions, but they had like a Japanese version of it. I'd have to go back and look, but you are right. One of them was Japanese. I want to say it was the car one. But yeah, that was the big one. The big one.
Yeah, I was a cartoon guy. I'm a big cartoon guy. Like I remember like watching Legend of Zelda over by Daryl's house.
Yeah, that was a dope cartoon back in the day.
Wait, it was part of the Mario Brothers one.
Oh yeah,
part of the Mario Brothers suite. Hey, paisanos, it's the Mario Brothers.
Yeah. Oh, one more quick honorable mention to the fucking MC Hammer cartoon. With the talking shoes and shit, and he be breakdancing on motherfuckers. But anyway, shit, that's gonna do it for another episode of DJ Caveman and IronMonkey talking that shit. This is our lecture recapping of things. Thanks to Pete for coming on, ladies. Holla at Pete. He's single. Yes. Shit. You're trying to look like Morris Chestnut right now. He's a Nigerian prince. So,
yes.
If you want to meet Pete, slide in his DMs.
Leave your email address.
Leave your email address. You know what I mean in the chat. You know he'll reach out to you via LinkedIn.
Via LinkedIn.
You know, he'll title the email a job interview. It's like in Martin. It's like in Martin. Tommy, what do you do? Like, Tommy, you ain't got no job. He'll let you know that he's going to meet you for an interview at a certain time and place, and then you're going to get blindfolded and go to a different place.
Don't mind the duct tape and the
try not to
pitchfork in the back.
Yeah, it's going to end up somewhere different.
It's part of the Halloween costume.
He's going to occasionally just disappear for like a couple days at a time because he has a lot of flight miles.
Yeah, he's not cheating. He's not cheating on you. He's doing his job. Which is not cheating on you.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know what my job is. It's not cheating on you. I'm just doing my job.
You guys are killing me.
Staying loyal.
Staying loyal.
Okay, that's your job. Okay.
I love you guys. Thanks for letting me, come on here. The next time I'll be more, prepared and astute, and
No, you did a great job. If anything, I'll say keep an eye out for Carl coming back and stealing sandwiches, in the fridge. Whoever the lady is making the fish and, reheating curry.
It was catfish.
It was catfish.
It was catfish, and it wasn't just like a piece of catfish. It was literally a whole catfish.
Oh, the head and all.
Oh hell no!
Yeah.
She gotta
get eyeballs in it.
She got to get written up for that shit. But that's
she had a vendetta.
That's another episode, man. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe, man. Thanks for everybody who's already subscribed. And thanks for coming on, Pete. We'll catch y'all next time.
Good night, sirs. Thank you.